One quick observation about wood and the woods that I'm using for my corner post and some of the posts in the line of the fence, along the line of the fence. Look at this. This is a juniper, or otherwise known also as eastern red cedar. And this is a 5-inch trunk. And the only core wood that you see here is this little red spot about 2.5 inches. All this other yellow wood rots away rather fast. So that tells you about how long these posts will last in the ground. Now, cedar, eastern red cedar or juniper, they have a reputation for lasting a good 20-25 years in the ground, provided that you have a thick post with a lot of core wood, a lot of heartwood. Now compare this to this little trunk, which is about, in comparison, about 3 inches wide. This tree is bodark, hedge tree, hedge apple, or Osage orange. It goes by many names. Look at the amount of hardwood in this thing. It's all heart. Here, look at this. It's all core, very little sapwood. This tree has a reputation of lasting in the ground 80-100 years. It is heavy. This thing, you could probably make a very good mallet with this thing. It's a very heavy wood. So just perspective, right? This other tree, look at this. It's just a branch, and look how much hardwood it has already relative to the softwood. Now compared to this one. Anyway, folks, I just thought I'd show you that. Ever since I moved into this property, I've kind of inventoried all the trees that I have here. I kind of know them already. I have juniper, ash, elm, hedge apple, or hedge tree. What else do I have? I got some cottonwoods on the wet areas, and I think that's about it. That's primarily it. A lot of hedge apple, but they're all young. All that line of trees, that lower line of trees, is hedge apple, and they are a pain in the rear to deal with because they are thorny, obnoxious trees. Really, I mean, you go near them and they'll get you. They'll get you one way or another. They'll get you. But they are extremely good. Look at this fence post here. This fence post right there. You can tell it's been buried for quite some time. That fence post is at least 30 years old if it's a day old. And I recovered it from the field. It was buried in the ground. I recovered it, and it is tough as nail. I mean, I cannot drive a nail through it. It is extremely tough. And I'm thinking that's a piece of hedge apple or bodark. So that tells you how long these trees last in the ground. I got a couple more here along the fence line. This wire, it's like a cinnamon stick. If I bend it, it breaks. It's so frail because it's so old. And yet these posts here that are here, solid. Here's a hedge apple tree that grew along the fence line, and they just wrapped the wire around it, and there it is. I just trimmed it. I might use this as a corner post. It's right along the fence line, and it doesn't get much better than that. So I'm probably going to nail or screw in a couple of 2x4s. That way I can stretch the wire from those 2x4s, and the wire doesn't get eaten like it did here. Notice how the wire got eaten up by the tree here. I'll just nail it in the 2x4s, and then I'll pull from there. Here's another one, another tree. This one's loose, but here's another one. All these were hedge apples. Tough trees, very tough. And this is a split. They split this trunk, so they put a wedge and they start splitting them. These could also be locust, but I don't think it's locust. I haven't seen any black locust in this property. Only honey locust, and honey locust doesn't last that long. Yeah, that's the other tree that I forgot to mention, honey locust. But anyway, I don't know. Just trees are kind of fancy of mine, so don't pay much attention. Until next time, folks.